the Senior Hour, which is sponsored by Comfort Keepers in Home Care and Advanced Audiology. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host,
Dr. Jean Doria,
on your hometown station, KHTS. This is a show for, about, and by seniors, giving information to enhance one's quality of life. And our in-studio guests this morning are, speaking of quality of life, Kevin MacDonald, the CEO of the SCV Senior Center. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Good. And later in the hour, we will be speaking with Tom Burton of Providence Holy Cross. Okay, let's get to it. You have lots to say, don't you?
Sure. What would you like to know about?
well, how we have a senior center in Newhall that's been there for years, decades, but we need expansion, and we have to move to an arena that's bigger for us. Tell us everything that is now going on, moving in that direction.
Well, we have good news because a group of smart people got together about 4 years ago and said we need to do something. We're in a county-owned facility. Mm-hmm. It's only 10,000 square feet, and we're serving 10,000 seniors. So
that's 1 square foot per senior. Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Standing room only.
That's
not going to hold
snugly.
up.
That's snugly.
That's right. So they got together with a plan to build a new senior center, and here we are in the summer of 2017, and oh so close to making that happen. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be building a new 30,000 square foot senior center.
Wow.
It's going to have a lush banquet hall to hold about 280 people in a banquet setting for lunch every day for our seniors.
And for fundraisers.
And for fundraisers,
Absolutely.
for nights and weekends, for weddings and so forth. So a beautiful banquet hall, carpeted, the round tables, a stage for the bands that come through, a kitchen twice the size that we have now. And we're going to have some culinary arts classes at night in our brand new kitchen.
Well, do you have a dance floor?
Yes, we have a dance
Woohoo!
floor.
Okay.
And then we're going to include, we have 7 multi-purpose rooms. Some are going to be classrooms. Some are going to be, one's going to be a technology center. We have a dance studio. We have a fitness studio. And we have a family room with a fireplace for people just to gather and share some time together.
That is a dream come true. You have no idea.
Well, we're almost there.
Yes.
We're almost there. We're still a little short. In the next 30 days, we need to wrap up the fundraising. We're trying to raise a little over $1.5 million right now. So we have about 30 days to do it and to make it all happen. And then we start building.
Good. Well, I sent you my share.
Thank you very much. And, if you add it, and every share helps out a lot. It really does. And we're sharing and telling people all over the community, even a little bit helps.
$25 would help.
It absolutely does.
Mm-hmm. Even 10.
And there's also a donor wall as you walk in. So as you walk in this beautiful new building, on your right, as you could imagine, there'll be a large donor wall. So anyone that gives $500 or above, their name or the name of their loved one will be on that donor wall for decades to come in the brand new senior center. Mm-hmm. So we're asking people to come together as a group, whatever you'd like to do. We just had the Corvette Club's going to be on that wall because they just donated recently, and they wanted to be part of that donor wall. So different groups are coming together to do such a thing.
Well, I'm already on the donor wall in the old one.
Yes, you are.
Yes. Been on there for years.
You'll be in the old building and the new building. You'll be all over.
Yes. But you are keeping the old building?
No, the old building is a county property, so it goes back to the county of Los Angeles.
Oh,
Not sure what they're going to do with it yet. Those discussions haven't occurred. But then the county will decide the best use for that building.
The best use for that building is what it's being used for now. Mm-hmm. Really.
True. But with the new senior center, I think one of the questions our seniors always have is, how are they going to get, if they're living down here in Newhall, to our new senior center? And now with transportation the way it is and how it's been organized in Santa Clarita, I think that's not going to be a problem.
No, Santa Clarita is so lucky. Their transportation department is just fantastic. And we've already spoken with them saying, how are we going to make this happen to bring people over there? And they're working on that. So
that's true.
You're right. Many communities, the number one issue is transportation. Mm-hmm. And while we can't solve it all, the city of Santa Clarita does a bang-up job making that happen.
Well, I would hope also that you would keep the place that's there now for the locals when they need a place to go.
We're going to keep a presence in Newhall, and that's what we're working on now. We're working on several different options. I'm not sure we're going to be in that exact location, but we're going to keep a presence in Newhall Like I said, we're going to be offering some senior services everywhere. And in that mode, as you're talking about, we're also expanding services. We've been working with the County of Los Angeles, and we're going to be providing support services, something called linkages. And linkages is I'm linking you up with supports and services of your choice.
Oh, but
And
supportive services, that's what Suzanne does.
yes, and that's
Is she going to do the same thing?
yes, and that's expansion
Whoopee.
of our social work team.
Yes.
We're hiring brand new care managers, as we call them, and we'll be serving Antelope Valley and San Fernando Valley as well
Wonderful.
with supports that seniors need.
That is
So
incredible.
it's a wonderful, wonderful time for the senior center, not only with a new building, but with also an expansion of services trying to meet the needs of our seniors.
And aren't you glad you're involved?
Yes, it's exciting to be there. It's exciting to be
How
on the
long
ground.
have you been involved with our senior center now?
Just over a year.
I thought that was what it was. But did you know about what was going on before you even applied?
No, not before I applied.
You didn't.
No, and such a wonderful
interesting.
venture that we're all on its journey together. And there's a lot of people on this journey. So there'll be a lot of people there as we break ground and then when the
Oh,
doors
my
open
goodness.
who have really supported us over the years.
What an event that will be.
But we're not there yet.
No.
Don't jump too quick.
No, but we'll get
We
there.
got 30 days. Bring it, get
We'll
on that
get
donor
there.
wall. And the website for the new senior center, so you can check it out, is www.newseniorcenter.com. Newseniorcenter.com. You can make a donation there. You can also look at our pictures and see what the levels are.
newseniorcenter.com.
And you know, Kevin, our population is growing. Right now, you serve 10,000, and it wouldn't surprise me in a decade you'll be serving 20 or 30,000. But you know, the senior population here in Santa Clarita is growing. The senior population in general is growing. So we're going to need to have those services. And I know our senior center right now provides many more services than any other senior center facility in Los Angeles County. And so I know that even further expansion for all these other great programs is going to enhance those seniors who are living here.
You're right, and we're just trying to give them the best. And when you talk about the population explosion, for Los Angeles County, between 2020 and 2030, I mean, we're almost on the verge of running into that decade, we're going to double from 1.1 million seniors in Los Angeles region to 2.2. So you're exactly right with some of the numbers are coming up. There'll be a surge in 2020. So as we grow, we're planning on being there and ready for them.
And you know, I don't think society in general is ready for it, and I think that's a shame. But I think the folks at the senior center have thought far ahead of how everybody else is thinking, and say we need to be ready for the services that have to be given to the seniors who are going to be living here. And I think it's just great that that foresight is going to allow our seniors to live a better life.
Yeah, it sure will. And we have some wonderful partners working with us as we go into the future, too, ready and standing by, and the County of Los Angeles trying to do all the services that they can. So we're really quite pleased with our support.
And you know, it's interesting. Not only are we doubling, but we're living longer. You know,
And enjoying life more as well. For
Absolutely.
instance, last night, because of Catherine Barger, our supervisor, a lot of the seniors from our senior center were able to go to the Hollywood Bowl. And Robin and I enjoyed the concert and, you know, had a great time with our seniors there who enjoyed it as well. I mean, they're out there, they're doing things, they're going to casinos, they're they're doing exercises, they're trying to stay and enhance their quality of life in every way they can. But one of the ways to do that is through the senior center, and that's going to be an organized community for them to go into and get services that they need.
Yeah, absolutely. And you went to a Hollywood Bowl last night, but we still had openings on our buses that went.
Yeah.
So we still need people to come by and take advantage of our possibilities. You know, the other thing that's going on, talk about planning for the future. Los Angeles County and the city of Los Angeles put together something called Purposeful Aging Los Angeles. It's PALA, Purposeful Aging Los Angeles. And what we're doing is, and it's a wonderful group that we're together, they're launching an initiative. And the goal is to make Los Angeles County the most age-friendly county in the world. And that's a tall task. So what we're doing now is a survey is just being launched by the county and by the city called Purposeful Aging Los Angeles. It is on the front page of our website as of this afternoon. It's a quick 20-minute survey. It's not just for seniors, it's for everyone. They're trying to plan for the future. So they're doing this massive survey. It's already gone out to all the Los Angeles County employees. You can imagine how many there are there.
Whoa.
But we want our community to also sign on, fill out the survey. It's very confidential, and then helps us plan. Our goal is, in April, we're going to bring these recommendations and the results of the survey to the county supervisors as a whole team and say, this is what our community is saying. We need to win the prize of being the most age-friendly county in the world. Game on. So if you check out our website, again, Purposeful Aging Los Angeles.
And
And
what's
I-
the
and I-
website again? www.newseniorcenter.com.
Well, that's for the new senior center.
Oh.
But I'll give you the website for this. You can check out the senior center website or purposefulagingla.com. But just check out the senior center website, and we'll take care of you.
And yesterday I did do the survey.
You did.
And it took about 20 minutes.
Okay.
And it wasn't difficult at all. When you hit the submit button, it didn't submit, and then I had to go back because I had to answer no to some of the questions that I knew were no for me. But it was an easy survey, but it did delineate, some of the things that clearly how we will be living here in Santa Clarita and what we need to do to prepare ourselves for that. So the survey is important because it gets everybody's opinion. And, this might be 20, 30 years removed from where we really get there and we need those services. But fact is, it really helps us start dividing up and pushing in a certain direction.
That's right. And if you want to participate in the survey, come by the senior center. We'll get you a computer and put you on. So don't hesitate to come by, and we'll take care of you that way.
That is incredible. It's amazing. And to think, Russ and I were in on it right from the very beginning.
Yeah, that history has
That's
not been
amazing.
written yet, though,
You're
Kevin.
right.
And it's just one of these things where I think throughout Santa Clarita, if you even there's some faults in how our city was founded, but there are books that are written and detailed. But with our senior center, most of the people do not know that it became a entity here in Santa Clarita because the paperwork had to be filled out. It had to be done officially in a way that would be recognized so that the senior center would be that entity. And Barbara and her husband, Russ Cochran, were the ones who, did all that work and put it all together to be able to start the Committee on Aging and then start the senior center.
Right.
And most people do not know that. And my applause to the Cochrans, Barbara, for what you did. Kudos
Mainly
to
to
you
Russ.
and Russ.
Mainly to Russ.
And a gift that keeps on giving.
That's right.
It's really special.
Yeah, well, Mary Blankenship was the first
Yeah.
CEO there.
Yeah, the first executive director, you're correct.
Executive director.
Yeah, and there have been others since, but this is literally a groundbreaking time for all of us because we have to move forward. $1.5 million, not a drop in the bucket. It sounds like, oh yeah, we can get one big giant donor and do it, but the idea is that this is a community, and this community should be raising funds in unison. And my hope is that
That's right.
those who are listening will open their hearts and their pocketbooks and say, hey, this is a time let's put our name on that memory board and let's give $500 and make sure that for my loved ones, for the people around me, that they're everybody is taken care of in the future. We've been doing that now. That is going on now. But serving 10,000 people in 10,000 square feet, it's an elbow bender, and we need to now move forward in this community with a bigger and better senior center, enhance the quality of life for our seniors here.
You got it. Absolutely. It's for all of
So
us.
let's work on that, listeners. All of you are sitting there now listening, and we want you to go to the website. Just get over to the senior center. Find a way to get your donations in. This is a big month for us. It's August, and we need to put the shovels in the ground and get things rolling here because we got to get this thing done. The time is a wasting, and services are going to be needed, and they are needed now, and we're giving them now, but we need more. So let's work real hard to make sure that this senior center is built in the right way by the right people.
And you don't have to give a massive amount of money.
No.
$25, $50, $100. That mounts up in a hurry. It really does. You get 1,000 people to donate. Good heavens, you've got a lot of money there already.
You're right.
And that's what we need to do. We need to reach that goal and start that digging. Oh my goodness, what a day that's going to be.
We're going to get there. But in the meantime,
course.
we're also looking at our programs and our services and what we're offering to the community, such as on August 26th, where we've partnered with College of the Canyons, something called Essentials for Family Caregivers Workshop Series. So we're really honing in on the caregivers who are taking care of so many people. Anyway, there's a workshop on August 26th, Crisis Management Planning, knowing what to do when life changes dramatically and what resources are available.
Yep.
And Ann Front is coming in from Henry Mayo Hospital, and that's a full morning. It's only registration is just right on the COC website. But anyway, it's coming up August 26th, and we're excited to offer another stellar workshop for our community. What to do in a crisis situation, talk about palliative care, talk about the needs of the people that we love.
My goodness, it's almost hard to imagine how far the senior center has come. It
And
really is.
And it's going to be hard to imagine also how we already know how far we, in a way, need to go. But you've seen it all, Barb. You've seen it all from very beginning to now, and how things have changed. But as a physician here, I know that things are changing rapidly for our seniors. The healthcare system, medications, all this are very problematic, and to have the services and the ability to be able to delineate exactly what needs to be discussed with caregivers, with loved ones, with emergencies, and there's so many things out there that are on the list that we have to look at and to put it out there so the public can see what we need to do to move forward. And I'll tell you, in a crisis and an emergency, and where services are needed, we have some of that in place. But as we grow, we're going to have to continue to expand that. And how we can do that is only through, I feel, is a senior center that's going to have the ability and the services to do that.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. And we have a theme for our Caregiver Day coming up in September. It's called Knowledge is Power. And how appropriate is that? So we're bringing our entire community together over at Henry Mayo on September 23rd in their education center. Knowledge is power. We're going to have keynote addresses on Alzheimer's, on Parkinson's, and just all the resources you may need. UCLA, Kaiser is going to be there. City of Hope's going to be there. Again, sharing those resources for our seniors. So that's our Caregiver Resource Day this year. Knowledge is power, September 23rd at Henry Mayo.
And what time is that?
That's all day from 9 to 3:30,
9
and
to
registration's
3:30.
only $5. We
Good
want people to come.
Good heavens. That's nothing. $5. When do you find a seminar to go to that long and the admission is $5?
And that's because all the resources in the community, they're all coming together. Our partners are coming and they're donating their money to make sure it's reasonable for people to come in the door.
That's incredible. And I assume that includes what, continental breakfast and lunch?
We'll give you some. We'll give you some food. The steak will be later on, but we'll give you some food.
Well, if it's 9 to 3:30,
yes,
you'll have some very hungry seniors there.
we'll take care of it. We'll take care of the hunger needs.
But by September 23rd, my hope, Kevin, is that we'll be thinking not about any more fundraising. We'll be thinking about the shovels. We'll be thinking about just starting to dig and put things out there, put the walls up, and getting things going.
Absolutely.
So I'm hoping that our listeners, the caregivers, those in the community that maybe aren't seniors right now but will be, will look ahead and look to the future and say, I have to make sure that this senior center is successful, and we get started on it. Mm-hmm. So let's go. For all of the people out there listening to the Senior Hour, make sure that you make that little donation. That's what we need. If you want to make a bigger one, that's fine for us. But we need donations right now.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Russ and Barbara Cochran. Wow. And
did you say building?
Russ and Barbara Cochran.
I think it should be Barbara and Russ Cochran.
Yes.
Girls first.
Well.
And the building name is still available for $1.2 million. You can have your name on the building. That's still available, and we may have some interest, so it's out there.
Now, if they do that, would that mean we only have $300,000 to go?
Right.
Wait a second. There's got to be somebody out there that just wants their name on a building. $1.2 million I don't know a lot of people that could afford that, but
it's there for decades to come.
For decades to come. Think about that, 1.2 with your name, and it's right as you're driving up the road there. You can see it in all different directions. It's going to shine.
Yeah.
But that generosity by someone, I hope, out there, that 1.2 million will make a huge difference for us.
Absolutely.
So climb on board. Climb on board.
Yes.
Whoever might be out there, climb on board and see
No
if
stopping you.
consider the possibility. Maybe you or a group or whoever it might be, be happy to have that sum brought into the whole arena of trying to get this our senior center built.
You got it. One other thing I wanted to share with you all today is that we do home delivered meals.
Yes.
And we serve the community that way. We have about 230 meals going out a day. We have openings for recipients. So if you know someone that is homebound and they can meet our qualifications, we'll deliver lunch to them 5 days a week. And it's a wonderful lunch cooked in our own kitchen right here in Newhall. So we want to get the word out. If you know a homebound senior, connect them with us, call the senior center, and we'll work it out and do an assessment. But we definitely have openings on our routes throughout the valley. And we want to make sure the word gets out because someone knows someone that could use a good lunch every single day.
And that phone number is 661-259-9444.
That's right.
Yes. That's a number I will never forget. Really.
Well, it's tattooed on your forehead. I can see it.
Ooh, I wish I could see it.
But, we usually don't have openings. I mean, it's sometimes a waiting list for our home-delivered meal program. So this is a great opportunity. And, I know for a fact that there are some of our seniors who are teetering at the edge right now. And for those who are listening now as well, we know you don't have $1.2 million. We know that you don't even have $500 to give, and that's fine. But if you need services like home delivered meals, just give us a call, 259-9444, and I'll tell you, it will make a difference in your life. It will enhance it. And with all the information that you can get from the present senior center, it will allow us to move into the future of the future senior center for all of us to do better.
That's right. And being a home delivered meal driver is one of the most enriching things you can do. It's a volunteer position still, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And I have done it. And I cannot express the feelings that I got when seniors, I would walk into an area and the seniors have their shades open looking for you. And it really, and so glad to see you because sometimes you're the only person they see.
And
on many occasions.
We all need that personal contact.
Absolutely.
We all need that love from another.
That's right. It is. And personal contact means everything. It really does. Well, Kevin, it's been a great 30 minutes. Well, not quite 30 minutes, but boy, we've covered a lot.
We certainly have. We appreciate your advocacy and your support from both of you as we move forward together. Like I said, it's going to take a lot of people as we go in the future, and we want input. We need ideas, so don't hesitate to give us a call and let's sit down.
Absolutely. And that number again is 661-259-9444. Well, thank you, Kevin.
Thanks,
It
Kevin,
was
for
great
being on the
having
show
you.
again.
Thank you very much.
Make your donations now.
Yes, absolutely. And we need to take a break. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, KHTS.
Drugs or alcohol abuse can tear a family apart. In Santa Clarita, just like everywhere else, it's an epidemic. The Way Out Recovery is here to help. Call them now at 296-4444 or visit them on the web at thewayoutrecoveryscv.com. The Way Out offers outpatient treatment for adolescents, adults, and family members. The Way Out is compassionate, caring, professional, and confidential. You and your family don't have to suffer any longer. Call The Way Out Recovery now, 296-4444, or visit thewayoutrecoveryscv.com and make an appointment. Asking for help is the first step.
It isn't often when we see a company launch in Santa Clarita and become an international sensation. In 2010, Jen Gerard founded Whitening Lightning in her Valencia kitchen. Now it's a booming international sensation. Leading actresses and international models have switched to Whitening Lightning to avoid the mess, hassle, and sensitivity of other products. Whitening Lightning's simple Dial a Smile kit will dramatically turn your teeth whiter in just 20 minutes. Rediscover how white your teeth can look. Visit whiteninglightning.com. whiteninglightning.com.
Your Friday nights just got even better. Vine's Restaurant at Hyatt Valencia is making your next date night easy with their prime rib buffet, featuring slow roasted prime rib, homemade soup, fresh shrimp salad, and a whole lot more for only $29.50. The Vine's Restaurant new prime rib buffet, Friday nights at the Hyatt. Make your next Friday date night at the Vines. And keep every day of your week happy at the Vines Lounge and Patio. Happy hour 4 to 7 p.m. daily, featuring $5 appetizers and drinks.
At Advanced Audiology, we know how important hearing is to you, your loved ones, your work success, your safety, and your ability to stay in the game. Most people won't admit hearing loss to themselves or others. We make it easy for you. Today's digital hearing aids come in a variety of styles, including invisible. All feature-rich, providing unparalleled hearing quality, wearing comfort, and automation that simplifies your life. Don't be fooled by our imitators. There's only one Advanced Audiology with the purple sign next to AAA on Valencia Boulevard.
Start your finish at College of the Canyons. You need open classes? They've got them. Choose from 3 different campuses: Valencia, Canyon Country, and online. They make it convenient for you to start your finish. COC also makes college affordable with low enrollment fees, financial aid, and scholarship opportunities. Start your finish at College of the Canyons. Register now for fall classes. Visit canyons.edu and get started.
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, KHTS. And our guests now are Dr. Mirchandani and Tom Burton of Providence Holy Cross.
Yeah, hi,
Welcome.
guys.
It's good to see you.
Welcome back, Tom.
Thanks for having us again.
Yes.
Yeah,
And Dr. Mirchandani.
Yes.
Yes. That must be an Indian name?
It is.
Yes. And what do you do at the hospital?
I am the stroke medical director as of early July.
Stroke medical director.
And stroke in the United States has taken a whole different form than it was even 5 years ago. The emphasis when somebody comes to our emergency room, before they even get there, all the wheels are going and the gears are in and everything is moving because we have to do things fast, don't we?
Definitely.
And the successes now and the difference before, people would come in and they'd have a deficit of some kind and they leave with that deficit. Nowadays we have ways of changing that result, and it's because of these stroke programs that have been put into place throughout the United States, and it has not only saved lives, but the quality of life for the patient, hasn't it, Mirchandani? So your role in that, we have standards that we have to follow, and they're not easy to set up it's not easy to set up a program to be able to follow those standards.
Now you're jumping into my show.
Yeah.
But no, you're right.
Right, and so we just wanted to talk to you.
Approach.
Yeah, total team approach. It has to be, doesn't it? And because of that, it allows everybody in every community, especially those serviced by Providence Holy Cross, the ability to not only they have a problem, but the problem is corrected medically.
Well, we're looking at going into a comprehensive program. I don't want to jump too far ahead into the next show, but we're in the process of creating that. And you're right. There's so many moving parts to this.
Yeah.
Whether it be from from recognition to the emergency room, from the emergency room to all the diagnostic imaging work that has to be done. to initiating treatment, to following through with treatment, the rehab side of it, the nursing side. It's amazing, and Dr. Mirchandani is going to be doing
working
this
parts.
for us.
It's but you have to coordinate this as a team, as you
Right.
said, and
like
it's
you
not
said,
easy.
getting all the wheels turning from the beginning is the most important aspect of it all. Getting the EMS involved, getting the right notifications, getting patients through the door as soon as possible so we can get a CAT scan and get moving and get the patients the right treatment they need as fast as possible.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many patients I have had who have had problems, who've made it to the emergency room after a stroke, and now are going home without really any further symptoms and enjoying life again. The threat is gone. And the so-called theories from 10 or 20 years ago have now evolved into good medical care for our community.
Absolutely. It's great to see the quality of life is actually improving for the patients. And a lot of it comes from the work that's been 15, 20, 30 years down the line that allows patients to actually get the care and more directed care to allow for those deficits to be minimized and in certain cases corrected.
So it's not a easy chore, but remember before the science wasn't there, right? And then the money wasn't there. But somebody said we can do this in our country, and they started putting, holding the carrot out for all of us, and we all started to jump. And the fact that, in doing that, we've changed lives in that process, because the worst part was that people would have a stroke and then it would change their whole life. They might have been driving and even working, and then now they can't use their arm, they can't use their leg, they can't walk anymore. And, that's then drives them into depression and all these other problems that go along with that. And now we're seeing a relief of that to a high degree, even more so than we've ever seen in the past. But Providence Holy Cross has played a role in doing that, and you guys are getting on board and doing these things and putting the team together and enacting things to make sure that the sciences that are now and the sciences that are in the future will be helpful to our patients.
No, it's true, and I think as a center of excellence on our acute rehab, one of the pieces that is extremely helpful for us is that the Providence as a company, as an organization, is actually looking those 5-10 years down the line. So we're not only just taking care of what's happening at the present time, but we're also moving ahead. In fact, we were just talking about it driving up here today, very short drive, about some of the neurovascular interventions that are going to be coming down the line. And, we're working on that, interviewing the correct professionals to be able to make sure that all this gets taken care of.
And we're talking about, people always think, oh, if somebody has a stroke, they're going to have brain surgery. We're not talking about that. We're talking about medicines that can help on an immediate basis, thin the blood. We're talking about instrumentation that we go into the vessels and can get up there and loosen clots or break clots up. It's just amazing what is being done. And I mean, it started scientifically, and a lot of it was at UCLA. But it's around the country. And because, because of how technology generally is now, word of mouth we didn't, in the past we had to wait for several years for something to get from Boston to Los Angeles. Now it's instantaneously. Put it on a thumb drive and it's here. Exactly. So, we're pretty lucky that, this technology, flourishes, but it flourishes and spreads real fast. So we're picking that up, as quickly as we can to get things going, throughout the nation. And at Providence Holy Cross, that has to be on the forefront as a center of excellence.
Yes.
And in the past 5 years, there's just been so many advances in stroke care. And as you're mentioning technology, we have telestroke now, which is amazing because we can reach patients that are in these rural areas of the United States that would have never had access to a big comprehensive stroke center. And now you just have the computer pop up, you have a doctor on the other side of the screen that can examine the patient and decide whether they need to get the blood thinner or whether they need to be transferred or airlifted to a hospital that can handle them.
Well, now, we're talking about stroke. What exactly is a stroke?
Right. So a stroke is very similar to a heart attack, but it's a heart attack of the brain where you have a loss of blood flow.
Now, what causes that?
So we'll talk about all the risk factors for stroke. But one of the biggest modifiable risk factor for stroke is hypertension or high blood pressure. We have high cholesterol. Smoking increases our risk for stroke significantly.
Right.
Obesity. And those are some of the big causes for stroke.
Well, now this is interesting. Is a TIA a mini stroke?
No. So I'll clarify that because I think it's really important. I always hear patients say to me, I had a mini stroke, but a TIA is similar to a stroke where you have symptoms and signs that are suggestive of a stroke, but those signs and symptoms last less than 24 hours. And when we do brain imaging on those patients, we don't see a stroke. We don't see areas of tissue loss on MRI.
I see. Well, the reason I'm asking is my husband experienced that, and he was sitting in his chair in the living room, and I looked at him, and his eyes were jumping back and forth. I mean, rapidly. And I said, "Are
And
you
that's
all
very
right?"
scary.
I said, "Are you all right?" He said, "I don't know." So I immediately went to the phone and called Gene, and I told him what was going on. He said, "Get him to the hospital." And so we called the emergency, and they came and got him and took him over to Henry Mayo.
And good outcome.
Good
Yes,
outcome.
good outcome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good outcome.
And
But the
it's so-
recognition was
Sure.
quick.
Recognition is the most important. And in general, a TIA increases the risk for stroke significantly, where a large percentage of those patients will have a stroke within 90 days, and the highest risk is in the first 24 hours. So it's so important to get patients with TIAs into the hospital, get them the workup. I do the full stroke workup on patients with TIAs. And we now have scales that help us determine which patients are at higher risk for stroke and which patients should be admitted for further workup.
Yeah, well, it was very scary. Really was. I mean, I've never seen anybody's eyes do that so fast, so quickly.
Yeah.
Scared me to death, and it scared him
Well,
too.
Thankfully, you saw that.
Right.
You know, that's the other piece, and the early recognition is such a big deal. And that, excuse me, if had you not seen that, you know, then time could have gone by.
Could have gone.
And who knows? Now, now that he's had that, and I'm hoping a great outcome, great recovery. What type of changes did he have to make? Did he make changes as far as lifestyle and?
Well, he has Parkinson's of the legs, so he has to use a walker anyway, no matter where he goes. So there really hasn't been much of a life change. He's homebound, other than I get him out almost every day,
Right.
whether he wants to go or not.
You're in awesome town.
You know?
You have to get out here.
Oh, absolutely, and out in the sunshine.
Yes.
Sunshine is. We talked about it last week on the show, how sunshine pulls people out of depression. Maybe just temporarily, but it does. And that's one of Russ's problems. He is depressed because of his entire situation. And getting him out in the sunshine with the 2 kitty cats, it's great. It really is.
It is.
But
is.
it was a scary situation. But he did not have high blood pressure, did not have high cholesterol. He has COPD, but otherwise, and the Parkinson's. Otherwise, he's in good health.
Right.
And I was astonished that he was having a TIA. You know.
Right, it's possible. And there's so many other reasons for strokes, but those are just the big risk factors. We can have cardioembolism, something called atrial fibrillation, or an
Yes.
irregular rhythm of the heart that can
He
cause it.
has had
And
that, too.
That was my assumption as well, that he
Yes.
probably was diagnosed with that because that often leads to a large vessel stroke.
Yeah, he's had that for many, 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 many years. And
And that's one of the biggest risk factors, especially in the elderly population.
Well, I just hope it doesn't happen again.
Right.
Hopefully he's on the right medications and
Oh,
getting
yes,
good
he's on a ton of
lifestyle
medications.
modification.
Oh my
Polypharmacy
goodness!
now.
I have the bottles. I make it for 7 days, morning and evening. Oh, and I have to go through. I've got a whole box full of medications. I tell you, but I make sure he takes them in the morning and takes them in the evening.
Make sure
And
you have
so
it
it's
written
funny.
as a list
Oh,
somewhere
I
so
do.
that way you can just hand it
I
because
do.
trying to remember that is going to be a nightmare for any reason he has to go off.
I
to the
had it.
doctor or
I
to the
have it
hospital.
all written out, and the milligrams and how many doses and
Right.
everything, morning and evening. No, everywhere we go, when he has to go to a new doctor for something, there's that list of medications.
So on your in the next hour, you're going to be talking, Tom, about a lot of problems related to strokes. But did you want to just mention a few things about Providence, Holy Cross, and generally what's going on there now, and what especially applied to our seniors that could be helpful to our listeners?
Absolutely. Well, near and dear to my heart, of course, is the Total Joint Program, which we talked about not so long ago. Our physicians presently have grown in the last 2 years as far as how we're utilizing multimodal analgesia for pain control, where patients actually, their pain levels are actually so low that the comment I hear when I'm rounding is, why did I ever wait? Which is great because it's usually fear which is causing them to not want to go through the procedure. So with the Total Joint Program, we're having tremendous outcomes. The physicians are definitely on board. The staff and the whole group is working wonderfully as a team, especially in the medical surgical unit, and can't be any happier about that. We're going for our comprehensive status with stroke care, so we're in the process of doing that. We're adding interventionists into the ICU to allow for even better and more directed care. Kind of working as a point team, so to speak, and we've incorporated hospitalists throughout, which has been extremely helpful. Having boots on the ground with our physicians while in the hospital, which has been extremely helpful. I know we've got some things coming up as far as imaging that we're going to be adding for our neurosurgical group. That is coming up. I think we're going to be adding an O-arm in the OR. And anything that you've heard? I mean, there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on, and just in general, to get to Comprehensive Stroke Center, we need to have neurocritical care physicians. We need a neuro ICU. We need neurointerventionalists who are doctors that will go in and pull out those clots for patients that are candidates.
Well, that's a really tough thing to do in terms of meeting that criteria, isn't it? You have to put a lot of people together, bring in a lot of specialists, and make sure they're qualified in every way. So yeah, it's an uphill climb.
And I think we're pretty lucky too, is administratively, I think that they recognize this. And we get a tremendous amount of support, not only from the regional system, but also from our C-suite within the hospital. And a lot of that can be evidenced with the relationships now that we have been able to foster with City of Hope. Being able to bring Duarte into the valley and into Santa Clarita, so we can get that the best level care for our cancer patients. We can Children's Hospital now in our neonatal ICU, and having the specialists actually, again, boots on the floor in the hospital 24 hours a day, so that way parents can rest assured that their children, their newborns are actually being cared for immediately. There is no wait because the doctor is actually right there. And that, it's that type of forethought and the desire and the drive to be able to offer the best care. And actually, we started off as a community hospital, and now we have no choice. We actually have to be strong to be able to handle everything, especially now as a level 2 trauma center. If something happens anywhere near us, those patients are coming in, and we need to be able to handle everything, including stroke.
And it's critically important to have doctors right there when a patient comes in. And it really is. They need to be right there in that emergency room. If you've got 15 people in there, you need more than one doctor in there.
You do, but
to
it's
handle.
so funny. You mentioned the telehealth.
Right.
I mean, that telehealth is actually allowing now the physician can actually be in the house. Which is in the cases where in the rural And they just said this on the radio today that rural is one of those really tough words. It is. In the rural areas, to be able to get to that level of care, now it's as quick as hitting enter on a computer, which
It's amazing.
it is.
Absolutely amazing. And I think we need to take a break. But when we come back, I'd like to find out why the two of you got into this particular line of work, because I always find it very interesting.
Absolutely.
Great.
Thank you.
I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, KHTS.
The best live theater can be found right here in the Santa Clarita Valley. The Canyon Theater Guild has been entertaining audiences for decades with top-quality musicals and plays. Located in Old Town Newhall, the CTG also offers workshops for the young actor in your family. For more information, call the box office at 799-2702 or go to canyontheater.org.
Do you see it? It should be around here somewhere.
No, what was that address again?
Your building sign is essential to getting customers into your location. Feathers can help get your business noticed. They'll walk you through each phase of your building sign project, providing special attention to detail and quality. Feathers will give you a sign you can be proud of. Your building sign will draw customers in instead of having them drive by. Feathers on Soledad in Canyon Country, across from the Edwards Theater.
Men, are you feeling tired, stressed, or just don't have the energy you used to? Did you know this could be related to decreased testosterone levels? Luckily, there's a safe, effective solution. Weeder Prime helps support healthy testosterone levels with clinically tested key ingredients. Just 2 capsules of Weeder Prime each day can help change your mood, energy, focus, body fat, and lean muscle. Feel the way you felt 10, 20, even 30 years ago. Rediscover your Prime with Weeder Prime. To find a retailer near you, visit WeederPrime.com. That's WEIDER Prime.com.
What to do, what to do. Your child's birthday is almost here. Put your birthday plans on ice. Ice Station Valencia. Throw a hassle-free party for 10 or more with an Ice Station party package. Public skating, rental skates, group lesson, birthday cake, pizza, soft drinks, party favors, and a decorated party area. Your party hostess will have a gift for your birthday child. For your fun ice skating party, call 775-8686 and keep your party cool. Ice Station Valencia, across the street from Valencia High.
Olive Terrace Bar and Grill is the hottest new Mediterranean fusion restaurant in Santa Clarita with unique delicacies like seafood right off the boat, mouth-watering prime steaks, artesian sandwiches, delicious pastas, and tasty kebabs. Unwind on their cozy outdoor patio at their weekend champagne brunch, full menu, and weekly specials at oliveterracebarandgrill.com. Check out their full bar and happy hour daily specials in Valencia on Copper Hill and Newhall Ranch Road by LA Fitness. Olive Terrace Bar and Grill, delicious food seasoned with love.
At Advanced Audiology, we know how important hearing is to you, your loved ones, your work success, your safety, and your ability to stay in the game. Most people won't admit hearing loss to themselves or others. We make it easy for you. Today's digital hearing aids come in a variety of styles, including invisible. All feature-rich, providing unparalleled hearing quality, wearing comfort, and automation that simplifies your life. Don't be fooled by our imitators. There's only one Advanced Audiology with the purple sign next to AAA on Valencia Boulevard.
Your hometown station, KHTS.
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, KHTS. And we're speaking with Dr. Mirchandani, right, and Tom Burton from Providence Holy Cross. Dr. Mirchandani, what made you get into this line of work?
So I've always been fascinated by neurology ever since I was young, high school days. I always thought that it was just one of those amazing fields, and there's just so much curiosity out there. What happens in the brain? Not a lot of us know. And I think there's been so many advances in the last several years, but I've always been kind of driven to go towards neurology. I went to Rutgers University in New Jersey, and that's where I started off my neurology path. I did an undergraduate education in cell biology and neuroscience, and I always kind of had it in the back of my head that I would kind of strive to do a neurology residency someday. I did a residency at Stony Brook University Hospital in Long Island, out in New York. and decided that I really was interested in vascular neurology. I think that there's so much that can be done for these patients, and we've had such incredible enhancements in the last few years. And time is brain, and I think that it's just so important. And I love vascular neurology.
Very interesting. Tom?
Well, I'm a physical therapist by training, and I fell into that field, so to speak, from old athlete.
Fell into it.
Yeah, no pun intended. As an athlete, so playing baseball and soccer, who knows how many injuries, and having been treated by physical therapy so often, my physical therapist actually asked, "Hey, listen," because I was supposed to be a chemist. My father was the chief scientist, retired chief scientist with the Skunk Works at Lockheed, and chemistry was a blast for me. And my physical therapist actually asked. He said, "Hey, listen, we need an aide in the office. Would you be available during the summer?" And well, it was love at first sight, and by God, every time I try to get out, they keep dragging me back in. So
It was meant to be.
It was meant to be. So we try to stay in the orthopedic and sports medicine field, though the body, my mind is still writing checks that my body now presently can't cash. So I'll take on more of the administrative role going forward. So.
I see. Well, my goodness, what a career for both of you. Been amazing.
And if you want to listen for the next show in the next hour, you'll hear a little bit more about stroke and the vascular side of it. And I think it's really important that Providence Holy Cross expands their thoughts on how they're going to be taking care of our patients here in Santa Clarita. And this is clearly the stroke therapy that you guys are giving to our patients here in Santa Clarita is great. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
We are sponsored by Advanced Audiology and Comfort Keepers in-Home Care. Listen to us next week on the Senior Hour. Now go and enhance your quality of life.
Yes.